Have you ever crossed the equator?
Our apartment is on the 10th floor.
Buenos Aires is the capital of Argentina.
I'm going away at the end of this month.
What's the longest river in Europe?
The sun is a star.
The hotel where we stayed was a very old hotel.
We live in an apartment on the 10th floor.
What's the best way to learn a language?
Your sweater is the same colour as mine.
Are these keys the same?
No, they're different.
I love to look at the stars in the sky.
Do you live in a town or in the country?
The earth goes round the sun and the moon goes round the earth.
Which is the planet nearest Earth? There are millions of stars in space.
I tried to park my car, but the space was too small. I go to the cinema a lot, but I haven't been to the theatre for ages.
I watch TV a lot, but I don't listen to the radio much.
But...
Can you turn off the television, please?
The internet has changed the way we live.
What did you have for breakfast?
We had lunch in a very nice restaurant.
We had a very nice lunch.
Our train leaves from platform 5.
Do you have these shoes in size 43?
Ellie is 10 years old. Every day she goes to school. She's at school now. School starts at 9 and finishes at 3. Today, Ellie's mother wants to speak to her daughter's teacher. So she has gone to the school to see her. She's at the school now.
When I leave school, I plan to go to university.
Or?
When I leave school, I plan to go to college. I went to the university to meet Professor Thomas.
Joe had an accident last week. He was taken to hospital. He's still in hospital now.
Jane has gone to the hospital to visit Joe. She's at the hospital now.
Ken's brother is in prison for robbery.
Ken went to the prison to visit his brother.
Sarah's father goes to church every Sunday.
Some workmen went to the church to repair the roof.
I'm going to bed now. Good night.
Do you ever have breakfast in bed?
I sat down on the bed.
Chris didn't go to work yesterday.
What time do you usually finish work?
It's late. Let's go home.
I don't go out to work. I work at home. I'm afraid of dogs.
Doctors are usually paid more than teachers.
Do you know anybody who collects stamps?
Life has changed a lot in the last 30 years.
Do you like classical music?
My favourite sport is football.
My favourite subject at school was history.
Most shops accept credit cards.
Children learn from playing.
We took the children to the zoo.
I couldn't live without music.
The film wasn't very good, but I liked the music. All cars have wheels.
All the cars in this car park belong to people who work here.
Sugar isn't very good for you. Can you pass the sugar, please?
English people drink a lot of tea.
The English people I know drink a lot of tea.
I like working with people.
I like working with people who say what they think.
I like the people I work with.
Do you like coffee?
Do you like strong black coffee?
The coffee we had after dinner wasn't very good.
The giraffe is the tallest of all animals.
The bicycle is an excellent means of transport.
When was the camera invented?
The dollar is the currency of the United States.
Can you play the guitar?
The piano is my favourite instrument.
I'd like to have a piano.
But
I can't play the piano.
we saw a giraffe at the zoo.
But
The giraffe is my favourite animal.
what do you know about the origins of man?
Do you think the rich should pay higher taxes?
We need to do more to help the homeless.
The French are famous for their food.
I met a French woman.
Italians are very friendly.
French people are very friendly.
Africa, South America.
France, Japan, Texas,
Sicily, Tasmania.
Cairo, Bangkok,
Everest, Kilimanjaro. The Czech Republic, the United Kingdom, or the UK.
the Dominican Republic, the United States of America, or the USA.
Have you been to Canada or the United States?
Mr. Johnson, Dr. Johnson, Captain Johnson, President Johnson,
Uncle Robert, St. Catherine, Queen Catherine.
We called the doctor.
We called Dr. Johnson.
Mount Everest, Mount Etna, Lake Superior, Lake Victoria.
They live near the lake.
They live near Lake Superior.
The Atlantic, the Red Sea, the Amazon,
The Indian Ocean, the Channel, the Nile.
the Mediterranean, the Suez Canal,
The Sahara. The Gobi Desert.
The Taylors, the Johnsons.
the Netherlands, the Philippines, the United States,
The Canaries, or the Canary Islands, the Bahamas. The Andes, the Alps, the Urals. The highest mountain in the Andes is Mount Aconcagua. The north of Brazil,
But
northern Brazil. The southeast of Spain,
but
southeast Spain.
Sweden is in northern Europe. Spain is in the south.
Union Street, Fifth Avenue, Hyde Park, Abbey Road, Broadway, Times Square,
Manchester Airport, Harvard University.
Victoria Station, Canterbury Cathedral, Edinburgh Castle, Buckingham Palace, Cambridge University, Sydney Harbour,
Buckingham Palace,
but
the Royal Palace. The Sheraton Hotel, the Holiday Inn.
the Palace Theatre, the Odeon,
The Guggenheim Museum, the National Gallery.
the Empire State, the White House, the Eiffel Tower,
The Sheraton, the Palace, the Guggenheim.
the Acropolis, the Kremlin, the Pentagon,
The Bank of England, the Museum of Modern Art, the Great Wall of China, the Tower of London.
the University of Cambridge,
But
Cambridge University,
McDonald's, Barclays, Joe's Diner, Macy's.
St John's Church, St Patrick's Cathedral,
The Washington Post, the Financial Times, the Sun.
the European Union, the BBC, the Red Cross,
Fiat, Sony, Singapore Airlines, Kodak, IBM, Yale University Press.
My trousers are too long.
those are nice jeans.
Or,
That's a nice pair of jeans.
I need some new glasses.
Or
I need a new pair of glasses.
Gymnastics is my favourite sport.
I have some news for you. It's good news.
The government have decided to increase taxes.
The staff at the company are not happy with their working conditions.
Shell have increased the price of petrol.
Italy are playing Brazil next Sunday. The police are investigating the crime, but haven't arrested anyone yet.
He's a nice person.
But
They are nice people.
Many people don't have enough to eat.
£50,000 was stolen in the robbery.
3 years is a long time to be without a job.
2 miles isn't very far to walk.
A bus driver. Income tax. The city centre. An apple tree.
A television camera. A television programme. A television studio. A television producer.
Language problems. Marriage problems. Health problems. Work problems.
A frying pan. A washing machine. A swimming pool.
I waited at the hotel reception desk.
We watched the World Swimming Championships on TV.
If you want to play table tennis, you need a table tennis table.
A headache. Toothpaste. A weekend. A car park. A road sign.
A coffee cup. And a cup of coffee.
A shopping bag and a bag of shopping.
A 3-hour journey.
A £10 note.
A 4-week course.
A 6-mile walk.
2 14-year-old girls.
It was a 4-week course.
But
The course lasted 4 weeks.
Tom's computer isn't working.
How old are Chris's children?
What's your sister's name?
What's Tom's sister's name?
Be careful. Don't step on the cat's tail.
This isn't my book. It's my sister's.
My sister's room.
Mr. Carter's house.
My sister's room.
The Carter's house.
The men's changing room.
A children's book.
Jack and Karen's children. Mr. and Mrs. Carter's house. The temperature of the water.
The name of the book.
The owner of the restaurant.
The beginning of the month.
The top of the hill.
The back of the car.
the government's decision.
Or
The decision of the government.
the company's success.
Or
The success of the company.
The city's streets.
The world's population.
Italy's Prime Minister.
Do you still have yesterday's newspaper?
Next week's meeting has been cancelled.
I've got a week's holiday starting on Monday.
Julia has got 3 weeks' holiday.
I live near the station. It's only 10 minutes walk.
Steve introduced himself to the other guests.
I don't want you to pay for me. I'll pay for myself.
Amy had a great holiday. She really enjoyed herself.
You talk to yourself sometimes.
If you want more to eat, help yourselves.
Lisa introduced me to the other guests. I introduced myself to the other guests.
I feel nervous. I can't relax.
You need to concentrate.
What time shall we meet tomorrow?
He got up, washed, shaved, and dressed.
Kate and Joe stood in front of the mirror and looked at themselves.
Kate looked at Joe and Joe looked at Kate. They looked at each other.
How long have you and Ben known each other?
Or
How long have you and Ben known one another? Sue and Alice don't like each other.
or
Sue and Alice don't like one another.
Do they live near each other?
Or
Do they live near one another?
Who repaired your bike for you?
I repaired it myself.
I'm not going to do your work for you. You can do it yourself.
Let's paint the house ourselves. It will be much cheaper.
The film itself wasn't very good, but I loved the music.
I don't think Lisa will get the job she applied for. Lisa doesn't think so herself.
Or,
Lisa herself doesn't think so.
I'm going to a wedding on Saturday. A friend of mine is getting married.
We went on holiday with some friends of ours.
Harry had an argument with a neighbour of his.
It was a good idea of yours to go to the cinema.
That woman over there is a friend of my sister's.
It was a good idea of Tom's to go to the cinema.
I don't want to share a room with anybody. I want my own room.
Vicky and Gary would like to have their own house.
It's a shame that the apartment hasn't got its own parking space.
It's my own fault that I have no money. I buy too many things I don't need.
Why do you want to borrow my car? Why don't you use your own?
I'd like to have a room of my own.
He won't be able to help you with your problems. He has too many problems of his own.
Paul usually cuts his own hair.
I'd like to have a garden so that I could grow my own vegetables.
I like living on my own.
Or,
I like living by myself.
some people prefer to live on their own.
Or,
Some people prefer to live by themselves.
Jack was sitting on his own in a corner of the cafe.
Or,
Jack was sitting by himself in a corner of the cafe.
did you go on holiday on your own?
or,
Did you go on holiday by yourself?
There's a new restaurant in Hill Street.
I'm sorry I'm late. There was a lot of traffic.
things are very expensive now. There has been a big rise in the cost of living.
We went to the new restaurant. It's very good.
I wasn't expecting them to come. It was a complete surprise.
I like this town. There's a lot to do here. It's an interesting place.
The house is unoccupied. There's nobody living there.
Is there a flight to Rome tonight?
There might be. I'll check online. If people drove more carefully, there wouldn't be so many accidents.
I could hear music coming from the house. There must have been somebody at home.
There's bound to be a cafe somewhere near here.
They live on a busy road. There must be a lot of noise from the traffic.
They live on a busy road. It must be very noisy.
There used to be a cinema here, but it closed a few years ago.
That building is now a supermarket. It used to be a cinema.
There's sure to be a flight to Rome tonight.
There's a flight to Rome tonight, but it's sure to be full.
It's dangerous to walk in the road.
It didn't take us long to get here.
It's a shame you can't come to the party.
It's not worth waiting any longer.
How far is it from here to the airport?
It's a long time since we last saw you.
It was windy.
But
There was a cold wind.
We bought some flowers. We didn't buy any flowers.
He's busy. He has some work to do. He's lazy. He never does any work.
There's somebody at the door. There isn't anybody at the door.
I want something to eat. I don't want anything to eat.
She went out without any money.
He refused to eat anything.
It's a very easy exam. Hardly anybody fails.
Are you waiting for somebody?
Can I have some sugar, please?
Would you like something to eat?
Do you have any luggage?
Is there anybody in the house?
Let me know if you need anything.
If anyone has any questions, I'll be pleased to answer them.
I'm sorry for any trouble I've caused.
The police want to speak to anyone who saw the accident.
You can take any bus. They all go to the centre.
Come and see me any time you want.
We forgot to lock the door. Anybody could have come in.
I'm hungry. I want something to eat.
What would you like?
I don't mind. Anything.
Let's go out somewhere.
Where shall we go?
Anywhere. I just want to go out. Someone is here to see you.
Someone has forgotten their umbrella.
If anybody wants to leave early, they can.
We had to walk home. There was no bus.
Sarah will have no trouble finding a job.
There were no shops open.
No reason was given for the change of plan.
How much money do you have?
None.
All the tickets have been sold. There are none left.
This money is all yours. None of it is mine.
I have no luggage.
How much luggage do you have?
None.
Or,
I don't have any.
none of the shops were open.
Or,
None of the shops was open.
What's going to happen?
nobody knows.
Or,
No one knows.
What happened?
nothing.
Where are you going?
Nowhere. I'm staying here.
The house is empty. There's nobody living there. We had nothing to eat.
I said nothing. I didn't say anything.
Jane told nobody about her plans. Jane didn't tell anybody about her plans.
They have nowhere to live. They don't have anywhere to live.
I said nothing.
Nobody is perfect, are they?
No one did what I asked them to do.
Nobody in the class did their homework.
There was no bus, so we walked home.
You can take any bus. They all go to the centre.
What do you want to eat?
Nothing. I'm not hungry.
I'm so hungry, I could eat anything.
It's a difficult job. Nobody wants to do it. It's a very easy job. Anybody can do it.
There's no need to hurry. We've got plenty of time.
There's plenty to do in this town.
We didn't spend much money.
But,
We spent a lot of money.
do you see David much?
But
I see David a lot.
We spent too much money.
many people drive too fast.
Or,
A lot of people drive too fast.
do you know many people?
Or,
Do you know a lot of people?
there aren't many tourists here.
Or,
There aren't a lot of tourists here.
We've lived here for many years.
Gary is very busy with his job. He has little time for other things.
Vicky doesn't like living in London. She has few friends there.
Gary has very little time for other things.
Vicky has very few friends in London.
Let's go and have a coffee. We have a little time before the train leaves.
Do you speak English?
A little.
I enjoy my life here. I have a few friends and we meet quite often.
When was the last time you saw Claire?
A few days ago.
He spoke little English, so it was difficult to communicate with him.
He spoke a little English, so we were able to communicate with him.
She's lucky. She has few problems.
Things are not going so well for her. She has a few problems.
Hurry! We only have a little time.
The village was small. There were only a few houses.
All cars have wheels.
Some cars can go faster than others.
Many people drive too fast.
I go away most weekends.
I feel really tired. I've got no energy.
Some people learn more easily than others. Some of the people I work with are very strange.
None of this money is mine.
Have you read any of these books?
I was ill yesterday. I spent most of the day in bed. All my friends live near here.
Or,
All of my friends live near here.
Half this money is mine.
Or,
Half of this money is mine.
all flowers are beautiful.
or,
All these flowers are beautiful.
or,
All of these flowers are beautiful.
Most problems have a solution.
We were able to solve most of the problems we had. Do you like this music?
Some of it, not all of it.
How many of these people do you know?
None of them.
Or,
Few of them.
Do any of you want to come to a party tonight?
all of us were late.
I haven't finished the book yet. I've only read half of it.
Some cars have 4 doors and some have 2.
A few of the shops were open, but most were closed. Half this money is mine and half is yours.
Both restaurants are good.
Neither restaurant is expensive.
We can go to either restaurant. I don't mind.
I haven't been to either restaurant before.
Which do you prefer, basketball or tennis?
It's hard to say. I like both.
Is your friend British or American?
Neither. She's Australian.
Do you want tea or coffee?
Either. I don't mind.
Both of these restaurants are good.
Neither of the restaurants we went to was expensive.
I haven't been to either of those restaurants.
Both of these restaurants are good.
Or,
Both these restaurants are good.
Can either of you speak Russian?
I asked 2 people how to get to the station, but neither of them knew.
Both of us were tired. Neither of them is at home.
Or,
Neither of them are at home.
Both Chris and Paul were late.
I was both tired and hungry when I arrived home.
Neither Chris nor Paul came to the party. There was an accident outside our house, but we neither saw nor heard anything.
I'm not sure where Maria's from. She's either Spanish or Italian.
Either you apologize or I'll never speak to you again.
There are 2 good hotels here. You could stay at either of them.
There are many good hotels here. You could stay at any of them.
we tried 2 hotels. Neither of them had a room. Both of them were full.
We tried a lot of hotels. None of them had a room. All of them were full. Everybody was happy.
Or,
Everyone was happy.
he thinks he knows everything.
Our holiday was a disaster. Everything went wrong.
All my friends were happy.
All of us were happy.
We were all happy.
He knows all about computers.
All I've eaten today is a banana.
Did you read the whole book?
Emily has lived her whole life in the same town.
I was so hungry, I ate a whole packet of biscuits.
Did you spend all the money I gave you?
I read all the information carefully.
I read the whole book.
Or,
I read all the information.
When we were on holiday, we went to the beach every day.
The bus service is excellent. There's a bus every 10 minutes.
we don't see each other very often. About every 6 months.
We spent all day on the beach.
Or,
We spent the whole day on the beach.
Dan was very quiet. He didn't say a word all evening.
Or,
Dan was very quiet. He didn't say a word the whole evening.
they never go out. They are at home all the time.
every time I see you, you look different.
Every seat in the theatre was taken.
Everybody has arrived.
Everybody said they enjoyed themselves.
Each time I see you, you look different.
Or,
Every time I see you, you look different.
Study each sentence carefully.
Every window in the house was open.
There were 4 books on the table. Each book was a different colour.
Kate loves reading. She has read every book in the library. At the beginning of the game, each player has 3 cards.
I'd like to visit every country in the world.
In football, each team has 11 players. How often do you use your car?
Every day.
There's a bus every 10 minutes.
Each room is different.
Or
Each is different.
Each one is different.
Each of the books was a different colour.
Each of them was a different colour.
Read each of these sentences carefully.
She's read every book in the library. Have you read all these books?
Yes, every one.
I've read every one of those books.
I've read every one of them.
The students were each given a book.
These oranges cost 40 pence each.
Everyone enjoyed the party.
Sarah is invited to lots of parties and she goes to every one.
The woman who lives next door to me is a doctor.
I don't like people who complain all the time.
an architect is someone who designs buildings.
What was the name of the person who called?
Do you know anyone who wants to buy a car?
The woman that lives next door to me is a doctor.
I don't like stories that have unhappy endings.
Or,
I don't like stories which have unhappy endings.
Grace works for a company that makes furniture.
Or,
Grace works for a company which makes furniture.
The machine that broke down is working again now.
or,
The machine which broke down is working again now. I met a Canadian woman at the party. She is an English teacher. I met a Canadian woman who is an English teacher.
I can't find the keys. They were on the table. Where are the keys that were on the table?
what happened was my fault.
Everything that happened was my fault.
The machine that broke down is now working again.
The woman who lives next door to me is a doctor.
where are the keys that were on the table?
The woman who I wanted to see was away on holiday.
Did you find the keys that you lost? The woman I wanted to see was away.
Or,
The woman who I wanted to see was away.
Did you find the keys you lost?
Or,
Did you find the keys that you lost?
the dress Lisa bought doesn't fit her very well.
Or,
The dress that Lisa bought doesn't fit her very well.
is there anything I can do?
or,
Is there anything that I can do?
Are these the books you were looking for?
Or,
Are these the books that you were looking for?
or,
Are these the books which you were looking for?
the man I was sitting next to on the plane talked all the time.
Or,
The man who I was sitting next to on the plane talked all the time.
or,
The man that I was sitting next to on the plane talked all the time.
Everything they said was true.
I gave her all the money I had.
What they said was true.
We helped some people whose car had broken down.
A widow is a woman whose husband is dead. I met someone whose brother I went to school with.
I met a man who knows you.
I met a man whose sister knows you.
I have a friend who's learning Arabic.
I have a friend who's just started learning Arabic.
I have a friend whose sister is learning Arabic.
George is a person whom I admire very much.
It's important to have friends with whom you can relax.
A person I admire a lot.
Or,
A person who I admire a lot.
or,
A person that I admire a lot.
Friends you can relax with.
Or,
Friends who you can relax with.
or,
Friends that you can relax with.
I recently went back to the town where I grew up.
The restaurant where we had lunch was near the airport.
I would like to live in a place where there is plenty of sunshine.
I can't meet you on Friday. That's the day I'm going away.
the last time I saw her, she looked great. The last time that I saw her, she looked great.
The reason I'm calling you is to ask your advice. The reason that I'm calling you is to ask your advice.
Or,
The reason why I'm calling you is to ask your advice.
The woman who lives next door is a doctor.
My brother Ben, who lives in Hong Kong, is an architect.
Grace works for a company that makes furniture. Anna told me about her new job, which she's enjoying a lot.
We stayed at the hotel you recommended.
We stayed at the Park Hotel, which a friend of ours recommended.
We know a lot of people who live in London.
My brother Ben, who lives in Hong Kong, is an architect.
Do you know anyone who speaks French and Italian?
Or,
Do you know anyone that speaks French and Italian?
John, who speaks French and Italian, works as a tour guide.
Grace works for a company which makes furniture.
Or,
Grace works for a company that makes furniture.
Anna told me about her new job, which she's enjoying a lot.
We stayed at the hotel you recommended. We stayed at the Park Hotel, which a friend of ours recommended.
This morning I met somebody I hadn't seen for ages. This morning I met Chris, who I hadn't seen for ages. This morning I met Chris, whom I hadn't seen for ages.
We helped some people whose car had broken down.
Lisa, whose car had broken down, was in a very bad mood.
What's the name of the place where you went on holiday?
Kate has just been to Sweden, where her daughter lives.
Mr. Lee, to whom I spoke at the meeting, is interested in our proposal.
Fortunately, we had a good map, without which we would have got lost.
Catherine told me she works for a company called Latoma, which I'd never heard of before.
Mr. Lee, who I spoke to at the meeting, is interested in our proposal.
Helen has 3 brothers, all of whom are married.
They asked me a lot of questions, most of which I couldn't answer. Martin tried on 3 jackets, none of which fitted him.
2 men, neither of whom I had seen before, came into the office.
They have 3 cars, 2 of which they rarely use.
Sue has a lot of friends, many of whom she was at school with.
The house was damaged in a fire, the cause of which was never established.
We stayed at a beautiful hotel, the name of which I don't remember now.
Joe got the job. This surprised everybody.
Joe got the job, which surprised everybody.
Sarah couldn't meet us, which was a shame.
The weather was good, which we hadn't expected.
Who is the woman talking to Tom?
Police investigating the crime are looking for 3 men.
Who were those people waiting outside?
I was woken up by a bell ringing.
The road connecting the 2 villages is very narrow.
I have a large room overlooking the garden. Can you think of the name of a flower beginning with T?
The boy injured in the accident was taken to hospital.
George showed me some pictures painted by his father.
The gun used in the robbery has been found.
The police never found the money stolen in the robbery.
Most of the goods made in this factory are exported. There were some children swimming in the river.
Is there anybody waiting?
There was a big red car parked outside the house.
We've eaten nearly all the chocolates. There are only a few left.
Jane's job is boring.
Jane is bored with her job.
Jane is bored because her job is boring.
Jane's job is boring, so Jane is bored.
Paul always talks about the same things. He's really boring.
My job is boring.
I'm bored with my job. My job is interesting.
I'm not interested in my job anymore. My job is tiring.
I get very tired doing my job. My job is satisfying.
I'm not satisfied with my job. My job is depressing.
My job makes me depressed.
Julia thinks politics is interesting.
Julia is interested in politics. Did you meet anyone interesting at the party?
Are you interested in buying a car? I'm trying to sell mine. It was surprising that he passed the exam.
Everybody was surprised that he passed the exam. The movie was disappointing. We expected it to be better.
We were disappointed with the movie. We expected it to be better. The news was shocking.
I was shocked when I heard the news.
My brother lives in a nice new house.
In the kitchen there was a beautiful large round wooden table.
A nice long summer holiday.
An interesting young man.
Delicious hot vegetable soup.
A beautiful large round wooden table.
A tall young man.
A large wooden table.
Big blue eyes.
An old Russian song. A small black plastic bag.
An old white cotton shirt.
A large round table.
A tall thin girl.
A long narrow street.
A black and white dress.
A red, white and green flag.
A long black dress.
Be careful.
I'm tired and I'm getting hungry.
As the film went on, it became more and more boring.
Your friend seems very nice.
You look tired.
I feel tired.
She sounds tired.
The dinner smells good.
This tea tastes a bit strange.
Drive carefully.
Suzanne plays the piano very well.
I didn't enjoy the first 2 days of the course.
They'll be away for the next few weeks.
Our holiday was too short. The time passed very quickly.
2 people were seriously injured in the accident.
It was a lovely day.
Sam is a careful driver. Sam drove carefully along the narrow road.
We didn't go out because of the heavy rain. We didn't go out because it was raining heavily.
She speaks perfect English.
She speaks English perfectly.
Please be quiet. Please speak quietly.
My exam results were really bad. I did really badly in the exam.
Why do you always look so serious? Why do you never take me seriously?
I feel happy. The children were playing happily. It's a reasonably cheap restaurant and the food is extremely good.
I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to push you.
Maria learns languages incredibly quickly. The exam was surprisingly easy. 2 people were seriously injured in the accident.
The conference was badly organised.
Your English is good.
But
You speak English well.
Sophie is a good pianist.
But
Sophie plays the piano well.
Sophie's father is a well-known writer.
How are you today?
I'm very well, thanks.
Darren is a fast runner.
Darren can run fast.
It's hard to find a job right now.
Kate works hard.
Sorry I'm late.
I got up late.
Have you seen Kate lately?
Sarah wasn't very friendly at the party. She hardly spoke to me.
We've only met once or twice. We hardly know each other.
He tried hard to find a job, but he had no luck.
I'm not surprised he didn't find a job. He hardly tried.
We hardly know each other.
Your writing is terrible. I can hardly read it.
My leg was hurting. I could hardly walk.
How much money do we have?
Hardly any.
These 2 cameras are very similar. There's hardly any difference between them.
The exam results were bad. Hardly anybody in our class passed.
She was very quiet. She said hardly anything.
Or
She hardly said anything.
I'm nearly always at home in the evenings. I hardly ever go out.
It's hardly surprising that you're tired. You haven't slept for 3 days.
The situation is serious, but it's hardly a crisis.
I didn't like the book. The story was so stupid. I didn't like the book. It was such a stupid story.
Everything happened so quickly.
I like Liz and Joe. They are such nice people.
Such a big dog.
I've had a busy day. I'm so tired. It's difficult to understand him. He talks so quietly.
I was so tired that I fell asleep in the armchair.
I was so tired I fell asleep.
We had a great trip. We had such a good time.
You always think good things are going to happen. You're such an optimist.
It was such nice weather that we spent the whole day on the beach. It was such nice weather we spent the whole day on the beach. Somebody told me the house was built 100 years ago. I didn't realise it was so old. I'm tired because I got up at 6. I don't usually get up so early.
I expected the weather to be cooler. I'm surprised it is so warm.
I didn't realise it was such an old house.
You know it's not true. How can you say such a thing?
You won't find the word blid in the dictionary. There's no such word.
I haven't seen her for so long, I've forgotten what she looks like.
I haven't seen her for such a long time. I didn't know it was so far.
I didn't know it was such a long way.
I'm sorry I'm late. There was so much traffic. I'm sorry I'm late. There was such a lot of traffic.
I can't run very far. I'm not fit enough.
Let's go. We've waited long enough.
We have enough money. We don't need any more.
There weren't enough chairs. Some of us had to sit on the floor.
We don't need more money. We have enough.
You never stop working. You work too hard.
You're lazy. You don't work hard enough. There's too much furniture in this room. There's not enough space.
There were too many people and not enough chairs.
Does Joe have enough experience for the job?
This bag isn't big enough for all my clothes. That shirt is too small for you. You need a larger size.
Does Joe have enough experience to do the job?
Let's get a taxi. It's too far to walk home from here.
She's not old enough to have a driving licence.
The bridge is just wide enough for 2 cars to pass one another. The food was very hot. We couldn't eat it.
And?
The food was so hot that we couldn't eat it.
But?
The food was too hot to eat.
These boxes are too heavy to carry.
The wallet was too big to put in my pocket.
This chair isn't strong enough to stand on.
I'm surprised you haven't heard of her. She's quite famous.
Or
She's pretty famous.
Anna lives quite near me, so we see each other pretty often.
We live in quite an old house.
Sarah has quite a good job. Sarah has a pretty good job.
I didn't expect to see them. It was quite a surprise.
There were quite a lot of guests at the wedding.
I quite like tennis, but it's not my favourite sport.
The weather isn't so good. It's rather cloudy.
Paul is rather shy. He doesn't talk very much.
These oranges are rather good. Where did you get them?
My room is fairly big, but I'd prefer a bigger one.
We see each other fairly often, but not as often as we used to. Are you sure?
Yes, quite sure. She was quite different from what I expected.
Everything they said was quite true.
I quite agree with you. I don't quite understand what you mean.
Are you ready yet?
Not quite.
The story is quite interesting. The story is quite true.
Let's drive. It's cheaper.
Don't go by train. It's more expensive.
It's cheaper to drive than go by train.
Going by train is more expensive than driving.
You're older than me.
You're more patient than me. The exam was quite easy, easier than I expected.
The exam was quite difficult, more difficult than I expected. Can you walk a bit faster?
Can you walk a bit more slowly?
I'd like to have a bigger car.
I'd like to have a more reliable car. Last night I went to bed earlier than usual.
I don't play tennis much these days. I used to play more often.
It's too noisy here. Can we go somewhere quieter?
Or,
Can we go somewhere more quiet?
The garden looks better since you tidied it up.
I know him well. Probably better than anybody else knows him.
How's your headache? Better?
No, it's worse.
He did very badly in the exam, worse than expected.
It's a long walk from here to the park, further than I thought.
Let me know if you hear any further news.
I felt ill earlier, but I feel much better now.
Don't go by train. It's a lot more expensive. Could you speak a bit more slowly?
This bag is slightly heavier than the other one.
The problem is far more serious than we thought at first.
I've waited long enough. I'm not waiting any longer.
We expected their apartment to be very big, but it's no bigger than ours.
Or,
We expected their apartment to be very big, but it isn't any bigger than ours.
How do you feel now? Do you feel any better?
this hotel is better than the other one, and it's no more expensive.
Your English is improving. It's getting better and better.
The city has grown fast in recent years. It's got bigger and bigger.
As I listened to his story, I became more and more convinced that he was lying.
More and more tourists are visiting this part of the country.
What time shall we leave?
The sooner the better.
What sort of bag do you want? A big one?
Yes, the bigger the better.
When you're travelling, the less luggage you have, the better. The sooner we leave, the earlier we will arrive.
The younger you are, the easier it is to learn.
The more expensive the hotel, the better the service. The more I thought about the plan, the less I liked it.
David looks older than he really is.
My elder sister is a TV producer.
My sister is older than me.
Joe is rich. He is richer than David, but he isn't as rich as Sarah.
Jack isn't as old as he looks.
The town centre wasn't as crowded as usual.
Lisa didn't do as well in the exam as she had hoped.
The weather is better today. It's not as cold.
I don't know as many people as you do.
How much was it? $50?
No, not as much as that.
It's not warm, but it's not so cold as yesterday.
I spent less money than you.
The city centre was less crowded than usual.
I play tennis less than I used to.
I'm sorry I'm late. I got here as fast as I could.
There's plenty of food. You can have as much as you want.
Can you send me the information as soon as possible, please?
Let's walk. It's just as quick as taking the bus. Petrol is twice as expensive as it was a few years ago.
Their house is about 3 times as big as ours.
Laura's salary is the same as mine.
Or,
Laura gets the same salary as me.
David is the same age as James.
Sarah hasn't changed. She still looks the same as she did 10 years ago.
You're taller than me.
Or,
You're taller than I am.
he's He's not as clever as her.
Or,
He's not as clever as she is.
they have more money than us.
Or,
They have more money than we have.
I can't run as fast as him.
Or,
I can't run as fast as he can.
What is the longest river in the world?
What was the most enjoyable holiday you've ever had?
Yesterday was the hottest day of the year.
The Louvre in Paris is one of the most famous museums in the world.
She is really nice, one of the nicest people I know.
What's the best movie you've ever seen, and what's the worst?
How old is your youngest child?
This hotel is the cheapest in town.
It's cheaper than all the others in town.
He's the most patient person I've ever met.
He's much more patient than I am.
That church is the oldest building in the town. Their eldest son is 13 years old.
Are you the eldest in your family? What's the longest river in the world?
We had a nice room. It was one of the best in the hotel.
Who is the youngest student in the class? Yesterday was the hottest day of the year.
What was the happiest day of your life? What's the most important decision you've ever made?
That was the best holiday I've had for a long time.
I like my job very much.
Our guide spoke English fluently.
I didn't use my phone yesterday.
Do you eat meat every day?
I lost all my money and I also lost my passport.
At the end of this street, you'll see a supermarket on your left.
We took the children to the zoo.
Don't put anything on the table.
Did you learn English at school?
Ben walks to work every morning.
I'm going to Paris on Monday.
They've lived in the same house for a long time.
We need to be at the airport by 8 o'clock.
Sarah gave me a lift home after the party.
You really shouldn't go to bed so late.
On Monday, I'm going to Paris.
After the party, Sarah gave me a lift home.
Emily always drives to work.
We were feeling very tired and we were also hungry.
The meeting will probably be cancelled. Emily always drives to work. I almost fell as I was going down the stairs.
I cleaned the house and also cooked the dinner.
Laura hardly ever watches television and rarely reads newspapers.
Shall I give you my address?
No, I already have it.
Joe never phones me. I always have to phone him.
We were feeling very tired and we were also hungry.
You're always late. You're never on time.
The traffic isn't usually as bad as it was this morning.
I can never remember her name.
Claire doesn't usually drive to work.
Are you definitely going away next week?
The meeting will probably be cancelled.
You've always been very kind to me. Jack can't cook. He can't even boil an egg.
Do you still work for the same company?
The house was only built a year ago and it's already falling down.
I probably won't see you.
Or,
I'll probably not see you.
We all felt ill after the meal.
My parents are both teachers.
Sarah and Jane have both applied for the job.
My friends are all going out tonight.
Tom says he isn't clever, but I think he is. He always says he won't be late, but he always is.
I've never done it, and I never will.
It's 10 o'clock and Joe is still in bed.
When I went to bed, Chris was still working.
Do you still want to go away, or have you changed your mind?
He has everything he needs, but he's still unhappy.
Lucy doesn't work here anymore. She left last month.
Or,
Lucy doesn't work here any longer.
We used to be good friends, but we aren't anymore.
Or,
We used to be good friends, but we aren't any longer.
Lucy no longer works here.
We are no longer friends.
Sally still works here, but Lucy doesn't work here anymore.
it's 10 o'clock and Joe isn't here yet. Have you decided what to do yet?
Where are you going on holiday?
We don't know yet.
Mike lost his job 6 months ago and is still unemployed.
Mike lost his job 6 months ago and hasn't found another job yet. Is it still raining?
Has it stopped raining yet?
She said she would be here an hour ago, and she still hasn't come.
I sent him an invitation last week. He hasn't replied yet. I sent him an invitation weeks ago, and he still hasn't replied.
What time is Sue leaving?
She has already left.
Shall I tell Joe what happened, or does he already know?
I've just had lunch and I'm already hungry.
She's already left.
Or,
She's left already.
she has a television in every room of the house, even the bathroom.
These pictures are really awful. Even I take better pictures than these.
He always wears a coat, even in hot weather.
The print was very small. I couldn't read it, even with glasses.
Nobody would help her. Not even her best friend.
Or,
Not even her best friend would help her. Laura has travelled all over the world. She's even been to the Antarctic.
They are very rich. They even have their own private jet.
I can't cook. I can't even boil an egg.
They weren't very friendly to us. They didn't even say hello.
Jessica is very fit. She's been running quite fast and she's not even out of breath.
I got up very early, but Jack got up even earlier. I knew I didn't have much money, but I have even less than I thought.
We were very surprised to get an email from her. We were even more surprised when she came to see us a few days later.
Even though Tina can't drive, she has a car.
He never shouts, even when he's angry.
This river is dangerous. It's dangerous to swim in it, even if you're a strong swimmer.
Even though she can't drive, she has a car.
I can't reach the shelf, even if I stand on a chair.
It's dangerous to swim here, even if you're a strong swimmer.
The river is dangerous, even for strong swimmers.
We're going to the beach tomorrow. It doesn't matter what the weather is like. We're going even if the weather is bad.
We want to go to the beach tomorrow, but we won't go if the weather is bad. Although it rained a lot, they had a good time.
In spite of the rain, they had a good time.
Or,
Despite the rain, they had a good time.
Although it rained a lot, they had a good time.
I didn't apply for the job, although I had the necessary qualifications.
we went out although it was raining heavily.
We didn't go out because it was raining heavily.
In spite of the rain, we had a good time.
She wasn't well, but in spite of this, she continued working.
In spite of what I said yesterday, I still love you.
I didn't apply for the job in spite of having the necessary qualifications.
She wasn't well, but despite this, she continued working.
I didn't apply for the job in spite of the fact I had the necessary qualifications.
Or,
I didn't apply for the job despite the fact I had the necessary qualifications.
We went out in spite of the rain. We didn't go out because of the rain.
Although the traffic was bad, we arrived on time.
Or,
In spite of the traffic, we arrived on time.
I couldn't sleep, although I was very tired.
Or,
I couldn't sleep despite being very tired. I didn't apply for the job, though I had the necessary qualifications.
The house isn't so nice. I like the garden, though.
I see them every day. I've never spoken to them, though.
Even though I was really tired, I couldn't sleep.
Your car should have a spare wheel in case you have a puncture.
I'd better write down my password in case I forget it.
Shall I draw a map for you in case you have problems finding our house?
I'll remind them about the meeting in case they've forgotten.
I don't think it will rain, but I'll take an umbrella just in case.
I'll write down my password in case I forget it.
We'll buy some more food in case Tom comes. We'll buy some more food if Tom comes.
I'll give you my phone number in case you need to contact me. You can call me on this number if you need to contact me.
You should insure your bike in case it is stolen.
You should inform the police if your bike is stolen. I gave him my phone number in case he needed to contact me.
I drew a map for Sarah in case she had a problem finding our house.
We rang the doorbell again in case they hadn't heard it the first time.
In case of fire, please leave the building as quickly as possible.
In case of emergency, call this number.
You can't go in unless you're a member.
I'll see you tomorrow unless I have to work late.
There are no buses to the beach. Unless you have a car, it's difficult to get there.
Shall I tell Lisa what happened?
Not unless she asks you.
Ben hates to complain. He wouldn't complain about something unless it was really bad.
We can take a taxi to the restaurant, unless you'd prefer to walk.
Unless we leave now, we'll be late.
Or...
If we don't leave now, we'll be late.
You can borrow my car as long as you promise not to drive too fast. You can borrow my car so long as you promise not to drive too fast.
Travelling by car is convenient, provided you have somewhere to park. Travelling by car is convenient, providing you have somewhere to park.
Providing the room is clean, I don't mind which hotel we stay at. Provided the room is clean, I don't mind which hotel we stay at.
I'm not going out unless it stops raining.
Providing the weather is good, we're going to have a picnic tomorrow.
We all waved goodbye to Liz as she drove away. As I walked along the street, I looked in the shop windows.
Can you turn off the light as you go out, please?
Kate slipped as she was getting off the bus.
We met Paul as we were leaving the hotel. Just as I sat down, the doorbell rang. I had to leave just as the conversation was getting interesting.
As the day went on, the weather got worse.
I began to enjoy the job more as I got used to it.
As I drove home, I listened to music.
When I got home, I had something to eat.
As I was hungry, I decided to find somewhere to eat.
As it's late and we're tired, let's get a taxi home.
We watched TV all evening as we didn't have anything better to do.
As I don't watch TV anymore, I gave my television to a friend of mine.
Since it's late and we're tired, let's get a taxi home.
David wasn't in the office as he was on holiday. David lost his passport when he was on holiday.
As they lived near us, we used to see them quite often. When they lived near us, we used to see them quite often.
What a beautiful house! It's like a palace.
Be careful. The floor has been polished. It's like walking on ice.
It's raining again. I hate weather like this.
What's that noise?
It sounds like a baby crying.
I enjoy water sports like surfing, scuba diving and water skiing.
Or,
I enjoy water sports such as surfing, scuba diving and water skiing.
I didn't move anything. I left everything as it was.
You should have done it as I showed you.
I left everything like it was.
You should have done it as I showed you.
Or,
you should have done it like I showed you.
But,
you should have done it like this.
You're late as usual.
As always, Nick was the first to complain.
Your phone is the same as mine. You can do as you like.
They did as they promised.
As you know, it's Emma's birthday next week.
Andy failed his driving test as he expected.
As I said yesterday, I'm sure we can solve the problem.
Or,
Like I said yesterday, I'm sure we can solve the problem.
As a taxi driver, I spend most of my working life in a car.
everyone in the family wants me to drive them to places. I'm like a taxi driver.
Many years ago, I worked as a photographer.
Many words, for example, work and rain, can be used as verbs or nouns.
London is fine as a place to visit, but I wouldn't like to live there.
The news of the tragedy came as a great shock.
That house looks like it's going to fall down.
Or,
That house looks as if it's going to fall down.
Amy sounded like she had a cold, didn't she?
Or,
Amy sounded as if she had a cold, didn't she?
I've just had a holiday, but I feel very tired. I don't feel like I've had a holiday.
Or,
I don't feel as if I've had a holiday.
I don't feel as though I've had a holiday.
You look tired.
You look like you haven't slept. You look as if you haven't slept.
Sarah is very late. It looks like she isn't coming.
Or,
It looks as if she isn't coming.
it looked like it was going to rain, so we took an umbrella.
Or,
It looked as if it was going to rain, so we took an umbrella.
The noise is very loud next door. It sounds like they're having a party.
or,
It sounds as if they're having a party. It sounds as though they're having a party. He ran like he was running for his life.
after the interruption, the speaker went on talking as if nothing had happened.
When I told them my plan, they looked at me as though I was mad.
I don't like him. He talks as if he knew everything.
She's always asking me to do things for her, as if I didn't have enough to do already.
Joe's only 40. Why do you talk about him as if he was an old man?
Why do you talk about him as if he were an old man?
They treat me as if I were their own son.
Or,
They treat me as if I was their own son.
I fell asleep during the movie. We met some really nice people during our holiday.
The ground is wet. It must have rained during the night.
It rained in the night.
or,
It rained during the night.
It's lovely here during the summer.
Or,
It's lovely here in the summer.
we watched TV for 2 hours last night.
Jess is going away for a week in September.
how are you? I haven't seen you for ages.
Are you going away for the weekend?
It rained for 3 days without stopping.
When did you fall asleep?
During the movie.
How long were you asleep?
For half an hour.
I fell asleep during the movie.
I fell asleep while I was watching TV. We met a lot of interesting people during our holiday.
We met a lot of interesting people while we were on holiday. Robert suddenly began to feel ill during the exam.
Robert suddenly began to feel ill while he was doing the exam.
We saw Claire while we were waiting for the bus.
While you were out, there was a phone call for you.
Alex read a book while Amy watched TV.
I'm going to Moscow next week. I hope the weather will be good while I'm there. What are you going to do while you're waiting? I sent the documents today, so they should arrive by Monday.
We'd better hurry. We have to be home by 5 o'clock.
Where's Sarah? She should be here by now. This milk has to be used by the 14th of August.
Shall we go now?
No, let's wait until it stops raining.
Or,
No, Let's wait till it stops raining.
I was very tired this morning. I stayed in bed until 10:30.
Or
I didn't get up until 10:30.
Joe will be away until Monday.
Joe will be back by Monday.
I'll be working until 11:30.
I'll have finished my work by 11:30.
It's too late to go to the bank now. By the time we get there, it will be closed.
You'll need plenty of time at the airport. By the time you check in and go through security, it will be time for your flight.
Hurry up! By the time we get to the cinema, the film will already have started.
Karen's car broke down on the way to the party last night. By the time she arrived, most of the other guests had left.
I had a lot of work to do yesterday evening. I was very tired by the time I finished.
We went to the cinema last night. It took us a long time to find somewhere to park the car. By the time we got to the cinema, the film had already started.
Karen finally got to the party at midnight, but by then most of the other guests had left. And finally got to the party at midnight, but by that time most of the other guests had left. And finally got to the party at midnight, but by that time most of the other guests had left. It's too late to go to the bank now. By then most of the other guests had left. By then most of the other guests had left. And finally got to the party at midnight, but by that time most of the other guests had left.
They arrived at 5 o'clock.
They arrived on Friday.
They arrived in June.
or
They arrived in 2012.
Can we talk later? I'm busy at the moment.
Kate and I arrived at the same time.
Will you be here at the weekend?
Do you give each other presents at Christmas?
I don't like working at night.
But
I was woken up by a noise in the night.
I'll see you in the morning. I'll see you on Friday morning.
Do you work in the evenings? Do you work on Saturday evenings?
I'll see you next Friday.
they got married last June.
I'll see you on Friday.
Or
I'll see you Friday.
I don't work on Monday mornings.
Or
I don't work Monday mornings.
The train will be leaving in a few minutes.
Andy has gone away. He'll be back in a week.
They'll be here in a moment.
I learnt to drive in 4 weeks.
The 11:45 train left on time.
Please be on time. Don't be late.
The conference was well organised. Everything began and finished on time. Will you be home in time for dinner? I sent Amy a birthday present. I hope it arrives in time.
I'm in a hurry. I want to get home in time to watch the game on TV.
I got home too late to watch the game on TV. We got to the station just in time for our train.
A child ran into the road in front of the car, but I managed to stop just in time.
I'm going away at the end of January.
Or,
I'm going away at the end of the month.
at the end of the concert, everyone applauded.
The players shook hands at the end of the game.
I'm going away at the beginning of January.
We had a lot of problems with our car. We sold it in the end.
He got more and more angry. In the end, he just walked out of the room.
Alan couldn't decide where to go for his holidays. He didn't go anywhere in the end.
At first, we didn't get on very well, but in the end, we became good friends. There's no one in the room.
What have you got in your hand?
When we were in Italy, we spent a few days in Venice.
I have a friend who lives in a small village in the mountains.
There were some people swimming in the pool. Who is that man standing at the bus stop?
Turn left at the traffic lights.
We have to get off the bus at the next stop.
When you leave the hotel, please leave your key at reception.
There were a lot of people in the shop. It was crowded.
Go along this road, then turn left at the shop.
I'll meet you in the hotel lobby.
I'll meet you at the entrance to the hotel.
I sat on the floor.
There's a dirty mark on the ceiling.
Did you see the notice on the wall?
You'll find details of TV programs on page 7 of the newspaper.
The hotel is on a small island in the middle of a lake.
There is some water in the bottle.
There is a label on the bottle. There is somebody at the door. Shall I go and see who it is?
There is a notice on the door. It says, "Do not disturb." When I go to the cinema, I like to sit in the front row.
Amy works in the sales department.
Who is the woman in that picture?
Do you live in a city or the country?
It's a lovely day. There isn't a cloud in the sky.
They're standing in a row.
Do you drive on the left or on the right in your country?
Our apartment is on the second floor of the building.
Here's the shopping list. Don't buy anything that's not on the list.
You'll find the information you need on our website. Vienna is on the Danube.
The town where you live, is it on the coast or inland?
We stopped at a shop on the way home.
Write your name at the top of the page.
Jane lives at the other end of the street.
I was in the back when we had the accident.
The garden is at the back of the house.
Let's sit at the front.
We were at the back, so we couldn't see very well.
I wrote the date on the back of the photo.
The TV is in the corner of the room.
There is a small shop at the corner.
Or?
There is a small shop on the corner.
James isn't up yet. He's still in bed.
Anna's mother is in hospital.
I'll be at work until 5:30.
My sister is at university. My brother is still at school.
I'll be home all evening.
Or?
I'll be at home all evening.
Shall we go to a restaurant or eat at home?
Were there many people at the party?
I saw Steve at a conference on Saturday.
We went to a concert at the National Concert Hall. The meeting took place at the company's head office in Frankfurt.
There was a robbery at the supermarket.
I was at Helen's house last night.
Or?
I was at Helen's last night. I was at Helen's house last night. It's always cold in Helen's house. The heating doesn't work well.
We had dinner at the hotel. All the rooms in the hotel have air conditioning.
There's no need to meet me at the station. I can get a taxi.
The Louvre is a famous art museum in Paris. Sam's parents live in a village in the south of France.
Does this train stop at Oxford?
The bus was very full. There were too many people on it.
Laura arrived in a taxi.
Jane passed me on her bike.
When are your friends going back to Italy?
3 people were injured in the accident and taken to hospital.
Welcome to our country.
We had to cancel our trip to Paris.
They are going to France.
But
They live in France.
Can you come to the party?
But
I'll see you at the party.
I've been to Italy 4 times, but I've never been to Rome.
Amanda has never been to a football match in her life.
They got to the hotel at midnight.
What time did you get to the party?
They arrived in Madrid a week ago.
What time did you arrive at the hotel?
What time did you get home?
I met Lisa on my way home.
I opened the door, went into the room and sat down.
A bird flew into the kitchen through the window.
Every month my salary is paid directly into my bank account.
She got in the car and drove away.
Or,
She got into the car and drove away.
I read the letter and put it back in the envelope.
She got out of the car and went into a shop.
She got on the bus and I never saw her again.
You need to get off at the next station.
We sat in the shade. It was too hot to sit in the sun.
Don't go out in the rain. Wait until it stops.
How do you say thank you in Russian?
How much is £100 in dollars?
They're very happy together. They're in love.
You seem to be in a bad mood. What's the matter?
In my opinion, the movie wasn't very good.
I didn't see the news on TV.
I heard the weather forecast on the radio.
I've never met her, but I've spoken to her on the phone.
Look, that car is on fire.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't do it on purpose.
Sometimes I have problems at work, but on the whole, I enjoy my job.
I'm going on holiday next week. One day I'd like to go on a world tour.
Emma's away on business at the moment.
There are no trains today. The drivers are on strike.
I've put on weight. I'll have to go on a diet.
Steve has gone to France for a holiday. Tracy left school at 16.
Or,
Tracy left school at the age of 16.
The train was travelling at 120 miles an hour.
Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius.
we hadn't arranged to meet. We met by chance.
I didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident.
Jess usually goes to work by bus.
They didn't come in their car. They came in a taxi.
We travelled on the 6:45 train, which arrived at 8:30.
Did you come here by car or on foot?
Can I pay by credit card?
Have you ever been bitten by a dog?
The programme was watched by millions of people.
The door must have been opened with a key.
The door must have been opened by somebody with a key.
Have you read any poems by Shakespeare?
Who is this painting by? Picasso?
I have no idea.
The light switch is by the door.
Come and sit by me.
Claire's salary has increased by 10%.
Carl won the race by 5 metres.
The company went out of business. There was no demand for its product anymore.
There's no excuse for behaviour like that. There's no need for it.
The train was late, but nobody knew the reason for the delay. The cause of the explosion is unknown.
Rachel showed me some pictures of her family.
I had a map of the town, so I was able to find my way around. The advantage of living alone is that you can do what you like.
There are many advantages in living alone.
Or,
There are many advantages to living alone.
There has been an increase in the number of road accidents recently.
Last year was a bad one for the company. There was a big fall in sales.
The accident was my fault, so I had to pay for the damage to the other car.
Did you get an invitation to the wedding?
I hope we find a solution to the problem.
I was surprised at her reaction to my suggestion.
His attitude to his job is very negative.
Or,
His attitude towards his job is very negative.
Do you have a good relationship with your parents?
The police want to question a man in connection with the robbery.
The police believe that there is no connection between the two crimes.
There are some differences between British and American English.
Thank you. It was very nice of you to help me.
It is stupid of me to go out without a coat in such cold weather.
They have always been very nice to me.
Why were you so unfriendly to Lucy?
There's no point in getting angry about things that don't matter.
Are you annoyed with me for being late? Lisa is upset about not being invited to the party.
Are you nervous about the exam?
They were delighted with the present I gave them.
Were you happy with your exam results?
Everybody was surprised at the news.
Or,
Everybody was surprised by the news.
I hope you weren't shocked by what I said.
Or,
I hope you weren't shocked at what I said.
I'm very impressed with her English. It's very good.
I don't enjoy my job anymore. I'm fed up with it.
Or,
I don't enjoy my job anymore. I'm bored with it.
Come on, let's go. I'm tired of waiting.
I'm sorry about the mess. I'll clear it up later.
Sorry about last night.
I'm sorry for shouting at you yesterday.
sorry for the delay.
I'm sorry I shouted at you yesterday.
I feel sorry for Mark. He's had a lot of bad luck.
Are you afraid of spiders?
Yes, I'm terrified of them.
Why is he so jealous of other people? They didn't trust me. They were suspicious of my motives. Did you know he was married?
No, I wasn't aware of that.
I'm sure you are capable of doing the job well.
Amy is a very active person. She's always full of energy.
I'm a bit short of money. Can you lend me some?
He's late again. It's typical of him to keep everybody waiting.
I think she's arriving this evening, but I'm not sure of that.
Or,
I think she's arriving this evening, but I'm not sure about that.
I'm not very good at repairing things.
Louise is married to an American.
But
Louise is married with 3 children.
your handwriting is similar to mine.
The film was different from what I'd expected.
or
The film was different to what I'd expected.
are you interested in art?
We stayed at home. Chris wasn't keen on going out.
I don't want to be dependent on anybody.
The streets were crowded with tourists.
The Italian city of Florence is famous for its art treasures.
Who was responsible for all that noise last night?
Who are you talking to?
When I'm driving, I like to listen to the radio.
They apologized to me for their mistake.
Can you explain this word to me?
I explained to them why I was worried.
Let me describe to you what I saw.
I called the airline to cancel my flight.
You didn't answer my email.
If there's anything you want to know, you can ask me.
He thanked me for helping him.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I look stupid with this haircut. Everybody will laugh at me.
Don't point that knife at me. It's dangerous. We saw someone with a gun shooting at birds, but he didn't hit any.
He got very angry and started shouting at me.
He shouted to me from the other side of the street.
Somebody threw an egg at the politician.
Lisa shouted catch and threw the keys to me from the window. We talked about a lot of things at the meeting.
We had a discussion about what we should do.
We discussed what we should do.
If you're worried about the problem, you should do something about it. I sent an email to the company asking them for more information about the job. I asked somebody the way to the station. I think you'd be good at this job. Why don't you apply for it?
Don't wait for me. I'll join you later.
I'm not going out yet. I'm waiting for the rain to stop.
I've searched the house for my keys, but I still can't find them.
I haven't seen her since she left for work.
Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. I'll take care of the travel arrangements. You don't need to do anything.
Alan is 85 and lives alone. He needs somebody to care for him.
I don't care for hot weather.
He's very selfish. He doesn't care about other people.
You can do what you like. I don't care what you do.
I've lost my keys. Can you help me to look for them?
Alan is 85 and lives alone. He needs somebody to look after him.
You can borrow this book, but please look after it.
Did you hear about the fire at the hotel?
Who is Tom Hart?
I have no idea. I've never heard of him.
Have you heard from Jane recently?
Yes, she called me a few days ago.
I've thought about what you said and I've decided to take your advice. Will you lend me the money?
I'll think about it.
It was my idea. I thought of it first.
I felt embarrassed. I couldn't think of anything to say.
What did you think of the movie?
I didn't think much of it.
When I'm alone, I often think of you.
Or?
When I'm alone, I often think about you.
My sister is thinking of going to Canada.
Or?
My sister is thinking about going to Canada.
I dreamt about you last night.
Do you dream of being rich and famous?
Or?
Do you dream about being rich and famous?
Don't tell anyone what I said.
No, I wouldn't dream of it.
We complained to the manager of the restaurant about the food.
We called the doctor because George was complaining of a pain in his stomach.
It's good you reminded me about the meeting. I'd completely forgotten about it.
This house reminds me of the one I lived in when I was a child.
Look at this photograph of Richard. Who does he remind you of?
Tina accused me of being selfish.
Some students were suspected of cheating in the exam.
His parents don't approve of what he does, but they can't stop him.
What did he die of?
A heart attack.
We had an enormous meal. It consisted of 7 courses.
We didn't have enough money to pay for the meal.
We didn't have enough money to pay the rent.
I'll never forgive them for what they did. When I realised I was wrong, I apologised for my mistake. Everybody blamed me for the accident.
Everybody said that I was to blame for the accident. It wasn't my fault. Don't blame it on me.
There's been an increase in the number of people suffering from heart disease.
Sun cream protects the skin from the sun.
I don't know what time we'll arrive. It depends on the traffic.
You can rely on Anna. She always keeps her promises.
Are you going to buy it?
It depends how much it is.
Michael's salary is very low. It isn't enough to live on.
I congratulated her on doing so well in her exams.
The meal was really good. I complimented Mark on his cooking skills.
Do you believe in God?
I believe in saying what I think.
The story can't be true. I don't believe it.
Helen is a lawyer. She specialises in company law.
I hope you succeed in finding the job you want.
Our house was broken into a few days ago, but nothing was stolen.
He lost control of the car and crashed into a wall.
The book is divided into 3 parts.
She's a famous writer. Her books have been translated into many languages.
There was an accident this morning. A bus collided with a car.
Take this saucepan and fill it with water.
The school provides all its students with books.
What happened to that gold watch you used to have?
They only invited a few people to their wedding.
I prefer tea to coffee.
I tried to concentrate on my work, but I kept thinking about other things.
I wanted to go alone, but some friends of mine insisted on coming with me.
How much do you spend on food each week?
The bus was full. We couldn't get on.
A woman got into the car and drove off. Sarah is leaving tomorrow and coming back on Saturday. When I touched him on the shoulder, he turned round.
Sorry I'm late. The car broke down.
I never found out who sent me the flowers.
It was my first flight. I was nervous as the plane took off.
I tried many times to contact her. In the end, I gave up.
How was the exam? How did you get on?
My French isn't good, but it's enough to get by.
We looked up at the plane as it flew above us. Why did you run away from me?
You're walking too fast. I can't keep up with you.
Are you looking forward to your trip?
I turned on the light. I turned on the light.
Or,
I turned the light on. I turned it on.
I'm going to take off my shoes. I'm going to take my shoes off.
But
These shoes are uncomfortable. I'm going to take them off.
Don't wake up the baby. Don't wake the baby up.
But
The baby is asleep. Don't wake her up.
don't throw away this box. Don't throw this box away.
But
I want to keep this box, so don't throw it away.
How did the thieves get in?
Here's a key so you can let yourself in.
Lisa walked up to the edge of the pool and dived in.
I've got a new apartment. I'm moving in on Friday.
As soon as I got to the airport, I checked in.
I'm moving in on Friday.
I'm moving into my new flat on Friday.
Stay in the car. Don't get out.
I had no key, so I was locked out.
She swam up and down the pool and then climbed out.
Andy opened the window and looked out. We paid the hotel bill and checked out.
She climbed out.
She climbed out of the pool.
I dropped in to see Chris on my way home.
They were playing cards, so I joined in.
The fridge isn't working because you haven't plugged it in. The man said he was a policeman, and I believed him. I was completely taken in.
please fill in the application form and send it to us by the 28th of February.
Or,
Please fill out the application form and send it to us by the 28th of February.
There wasn't anything to eat at home, so we decided to eat out.
Gary went to university, but dropped out after a year.
I promised I'd go to the wedding. I don't want to go, but I can't get out of it now. In the sentence, she said that she was ill. You can leave out the word that.
Some of the names on the list had been crossed out.
suddenly all the lights in the building went out.
I put the fire out with a fire extinguisher.
I turned the lights out before leaving.
We don't need the candle. You can blow it out.
Rachel works out at the gym 3 times a week.
Good luck for the future. I hope everything works out well for you.
Why did James leave the company?
Things didn't work out.
The total bill for 3 people is £97.35. That works out at £32.45 each.
345 times 76. I need a calculator. I can't work it out in my head.
Investigators are trying to work out what caused the accident.
Or
Investigators are trying to figure out what caused the accident. Soldiers are expected to carry out orders.
An investigation into the accident will be carried out.
the police never found out who committed the crime.
I just found out that it's Helen's birthday today.
I checked a few websites to find out about hotels in the town.
At the end of the lecture, the speaker gave out information sheets to the audience.
As we drove through the city, the tour guide pointed out all the sights.
I didn't realise I'd made a mistake until somebody pointed it out to me.
We ran out of petrol on the motorway.
There are a few problems we need to sort out.
All these papers are mixed up. I'll have to sort them out.
Nobody believed Paul at first, but he turned out to be right.
The weather wasn't so good in the morning, but it turned out nice later.
I thought they knew each other, but it turned out that they'd never met.
The company is trying out some new software at the moment.
Shall I leave the lights on or turn them off? Is the heating on?
No, I switched it off.
Let's put some music on. What would you like to hear?
We need boiling water, so I'll put the kettle on.
What's all that noise? What's going on?
The concert in the park had to be called off because of the weather.
The election has been put off until January.
We can't put off making a decision. We have to decide now.
My hands were cold, so I put my gloves on.
I've put on 2 kilos in the last month. I tried on a jacket in the shop, but it didn't look right.
It was warm, so I took off my coat.
Tomorrow I'm off to Paris. I'm off on holiday.
Anna got on her bike and rode off.
Mark left home at the age of 18 and went off to Canada.
We set off early to avoid the traffic.
After a long delay, the plane finally took off.
Helen was going away. We went to the station with her to see her off.
The party went on until 4 o'clock in the morning. We can't go on spending money like this. We'll have nothing left soon.
I don't want to carry on working here. I'm going to look for another job.
Don't let me disturb you. Please carry on with what you're doing.
He keeps on criticizing me. It's not fair.
Shall we stop at this petrol station, or shall we drive on to the next one?
How are you getting on in your new job?
Joanne and Karen don't get on. They're always arguing.
Richard gets on well with his neighbours. They're all very friendly.
I must get on with my work. I have a lot to do. I dozed off during the lecture. It was very boring. Have you finished painting the kitchen?
Nearly. I'll finish it off tomorrow. Did you hear the alarm go off?
We wanted to go to the exhibition, but we were put off by the long queue.
What put you off applying for the job? Was the salary too low?
Did you really pay £2,000 for that painting? I think you were ripped off.
Look at that boy on the bike riding with no hands. He's just showing off.
Claire's mother told her off for wearing dirty shoes in the house.
I put a picture up on the wall.
I didn't like the picture, so I took it down.
There was a letter on the floor. I picked it up and looked at it. I stopped writing and put down my pen.
Alan stood up and walked out.
I bent down to tie my shoelace.
I can't hear the TV. Can you turn it up a bit? The oven is too hot. Turn it down to 150 degrees.
Some old houses were knocked down to make way for the new shopping centre.
Why did you cut down the tree in your garden?
A man was knocked down by a car and taken to hospital.
They were able to put out the fire before the house burnt down.
You're driving too fast. Slow down.
Calm down. There's no point in getting angry.
I'm trying to cut down on coffee. I drink too much of it.
The car broke down and I had to phone for help.
Their marriage broke down after only a few months.
There used to be a shop at the end of the street. It closed down a few years ago.
You can always rely on Paul. He'll never let you down.
I applied for several jobs, but I was turned down for all of them.
Rachel was offered the job, but she decided to turn it down.
I can't remember Ben's address. I wrote it down, but I can't find it.
A man came up to me in the street and asked me for money.
I'm not ready to go yet. You go on and I'll catch up with you.
Or,
I'm not ready to go yet. You go on and I'll catch you up. You're walking too fast. I can't keep up.
You're doing well. Keep it up.
The government has set up a committee to investigate the problem.
Laura took up photography a few years ago. She takes really good pictures.
We've fixed up a meeting for next Monday.
Amy was born in Hong Kong but grew up in Australia.
Her parents died when she was a child and she was brought up by her grandparents.
Look at this mess. Who's going to tidy up?
I hate washing up.
There was a fight in the street and 3 men ended up in hospital. I couldn't find a hotel and ended up sleeping on a bench at the station. Don't give up. Keep trying.
Sue got bored with her job and decided to give it up.
Children under 16 make up half the population of the city. Air is made up mainly of nitrogen and oxygen.
Most of the space in the room was taken up by a large table. We arranged to meet David last night, but he didn't turn up.
I'm going to make some soup. We have a lot of vegetables and I want to use them up.
I don't want to hear any more about this. Please don't bring it up again.
Some interesting things came up in our discussion yesterday.
Sarah is very creative. She's always coming up with new ideas.
What Kevin told you about himself wasn't true. He made it all up.
You look so sad. Cheer up.
Helen is depressed. What can we do to cheer her up?
Dan is saving up for a trip to New Zealand.
It was raining when I got up, but it cleared up later.
The engine caught fire and blew up.
The bridge was blown up during the war.
I didn't read the letter. I just tore it up and threw it away.
A friend of mine was attacked and beaten up. He had to go to hospital.
I'm surprised to hear that Katie and Paul have split up. They seemed very happy together. It's quite cold. Do up your coat before you go out.
The kitchen looks great now that it has been done up.
If you don't know the meaning of a word, you can look it up.
We live on a busy road, so we have to put up with a lot of noise from the traffic.
Don't wait for me. I don't want to hold you up.
Plans to build a new factory have been held up because of financial problems.
The 2 brothers look very similar. People often mix them up.
Or
people often get them mixed up.
We're going away on holiday today.
We'll be back in 3 weeks.
Sarah got into her car, started the engine and drove away. I'm going out now.
What time will you be back?
I tried to take a picture of the bird, but it flew away.
After eating at a restaurant, we walked back to our hotel.
I dropped the ticket and it blew away in the wind. I've still got Jane's keys. I forgot to give them back to her.
The police searched the house and took away a computer. When you've finished with that book, can you put it back on the shelf? We tried to catch the thief, but she got away.
I parked in a no parking zone, but I got away with it. I didn't have to pay a fine.
Keep away from the edge of the pool. You might fall in. Did you sell your bike?
No, I gave it away to a friend.
When the children finished playing with their toys, they put them away.
I kept the letter, but I threw away the envelope.
I waved to her and she waved back. I can't talk to you now. I'll call you back in 10 minutes. I sent him an email, but he never got back to me.
My first job was in a travel agency. I didn't like it much at the time, but looking back on it, I learnt a lot and it was a useful experience.
If you borrow money, you have to pay it back.
Thanks for lending me the money. I'll pay you back next week.